Hello everyone, welcome to day 12. Today we'll be talking about macronutrients. So there are 4 different types of macronutrients: fats, carbohydrates, protein, and water. And macro, meaning large, means that these are the nutrients that the human body needs in large amounts compared to micronutrients. So you can see from this slide that fats have 9 calories per gram, and carbohydrates and proteins have 4 calories per gram. And for this reason, that's why fatty foods or foods that contain fats typically have a higher calorie content than foods that contain carbohydrates and protein. So what are fats? Well, fats are made up of these building blocks called fatty acids, and they serve a very important role in the body, as all of the macronutrients do. They provide a structural component of healthy cell membranes. They help the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. They help transport nutrients and cell waste across cell membranes. They can also attach to protein molecules and direct where that molecule compound should then go and where it should bind to throughout the body. They can serve as a fuel source, so they're actually stored as triglycerides in the body. And they can also be converted to substances that function as hormones or other types of messenger molecules. So some examples, which you've probably already heard of, are polyunsaturated fatty acids, or omega-3 or omega-6 fatty acids, short, medium, and long chain fatty acids, unsaturated and saturated fatty acids, and trans fat is also one type of fat. So carbohydrates, these macronutrients are made up of saccharides, or also called simple sugars. These simple sugars provide a quick source of energy to every single cell in the body. In the form of fiber, carbohydrates can assist in digestion and waste elimination. Saccharides, or simple sugars, are stored in the liver and muscles as glycogen. And saccharides are also building blocks of macromolecules such as DNA, RNA, and ATP. Some examples of carbohydrates are glucose, fructose, lactose, and starch. And those first 3 are considered to be monosaccharides, or simple sugars, because they're composed of one molecule, one saccharide. And then starch is considered to be a complex carbohydrate, or a polysaccharide, because it contains a lot of different saccharides binded together. Protein. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, and they have a very huge role in the body. They help with building and repairing tissues. They help with composing enzymes, hormones, and immune molecules such as antibodies. They help to balance water throughout the body. They help transport and store nutrients throughout the body. They are primarily responsible for all muscle contractions. So without protein, we cannot breathe, we cannot have a functioning heart, we can't move. And they also help to give cell membranes their structure. So some examples of amino acids, and there are 20 different amino acids, by the way, but here are a few: glutamine, tryptophan, tyrosine, glycine, lysine, and arginine. And another role of protein is that they serve as the backbone of RNA and DNA. So they are responsible for almost every gene in the body. Actually, every gene is actually a protein. So they serve as kind of our genetic template for how every metabolic pathway is carried out in the body. So they're very, very, very important. And then the last macronutrient I want to talk about is water. It's the carrier of everything in the body. It helps distribute nutrients to cells and helps remove waste from cells, which is why we drink so much water in the detox phase. Helps to regulate body temperature and appetite. Maintains fluid balance between cells and blood. It's involved in every single metabolic pathway in the body. It helps to reduce pain and inflammation when we are hydrated. Increases cell volume, so that's why when we're hydrated, we have a glowing appearance and our skin literally looks a little bit plumper. It improves function of every cell in the body and aids in digestion. So water is very important. So humans cannot live without all 4 macronutrients. And these are what I call the basic ingredients of a recipe. They're needed for growth and repair. And if we don't have enough macronutrients in our body, if we're dehydrated or we have a deficiency, this can create stress in the body. So that shifts us from the growth and repair phase over to that protective phase that we mentioned when we talked about stress. And your body can't make these building blocks on its own, so it must obtain them from the diet. There is no homework for today, so you guys have the night off. Next, we'll be talking about micronutrients, which is very important, almost equally as important as macronutrients. Thanks!